Hello everyone, welcome back to another AP Physics 1 Kinematics Daily Practice Problem. Today we'll be going over question 15 in the MIT AP Physics 1 workbook. That'll be in the description down below for you guys to follow along. And with that said, let's go on with the problem. It says the velocity of a projectile at launch has a horizontal component VH and a vertical component VV. Its resistance is negligible, and when the projectile is at the highest point of its trajectory, which of the following shows the vertical and horizontal components of its velocity and the vertical component of its acceleration? So this question is asking us about projectile motion, and in projectile motion there are some key characteristics that we have to remember. So in projectile motion, that's when we have an object that is launched and it goes in a parabola sort of shape. So the projectile starts from here, it's shot out, and it follows this trajectory of a parabola and it lands down. So while it travels through this trajectory, there's only one force acting on it in the vertical component, and that would be force gravity. And the force gravity is constantly pulling down on the object in motion, no matter where it is, but only in the vertical. And since we know Newton's second law is force equals mass times acceleration, since there's a force acting in the vertical component, this force is constant because the only force acting on it is going to be force gravity. And since the only force acting on it is force gravity, for this to stay constant, the mass is of course going to stay constant because we're not assuming the mass is changing, meaning that the acceleration is also constant in this projectile motion scenario. And knowing that the acceleration is constant, we know that it has to be equal to gravity. So looking at our choices, we can already cross out choice A and choice B since they don't have gravity as a vertical acceleration. And knowing that vertical acceleration is acted on by G, but there's no force acting in the Y or the X direction at any moment, we know that the horizontal component is going to be constant, because since we only have it acting in the vertical and the vertical and the vertical and nothing going on in the horizontal, that means, according to Newton's first law, things in motion will continue to stay in motion unless another force is acted on it. The object is going to keep that horizontal component of velocity unless an object is acted on by another force. But here we can see that air resistance is negligible, meaning that there is no force acting on the object in the horizontal direction, meaning it's going to keep that constant velocity of VH. And looking at our choices C and D, we can automatically choose D as our option and cross out C, because C says that the horizontal velocity would be 0, but we know that the horizontal velocity would just remain VH constant because there's no forces acting on it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or anything that didn't make sense, please comment down below. I'd love to go and answer them, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and remember to enjoy life.